Hi YouTube, I've put a couple of links in this page to two lectures which will make this video make sense. They're from the von Mises Institute. They're criticisms of Marx. Overall, the lectures are fantastic, even if they're slagging off my favourite philosopher. But I have found a number of holes in their criticism. The two lectures I'm referring to are The Marx Nobody Knows by Gary North and Marx under the Organisation of Labour under Socialism by William Smethers. Pardon for my voice, I've got a bit of a hoarse throat. But I've been meaning to do this video for a long time, no more putting it off. Right, well, the main criticism they had of Marxism is that the only real supporters of communism in the 20th century have been impoverished peasants and what they call bourgeois intellectuals. I would dispute this. I would say that the peasants who supported communism have been squatters and sharecroppers, who are proletarian or have no legal title to the land. If he's referring to smallholders, then I would argue they have not been supporters of communism, nor have serfs, because they are paid in land. So they have no incentive to support revolutions, in the same way that squatters and sharecroppers do. And as for intellectuals, to call them bourgeois implies that they're property owning. Well, most intellectuals aren't property owners. Most intellectuals are landless and practically penniless. And besides, Marx wrote that renegades from the ruling class would desert to communism when they saw that that was the way. And we see that in early 20th century Georgia. A lot of nobles supported the local Mensheviks. The main financial backers of the Bolshevik party were rich businessmen in Russia who saw them as the wave of the future. Oh, and in addition to squatters and sharecroppers, there's also landless labourers. They're not property owners. They're proletarian. They're landless. So there's no reason why rural dwelling people won't support revolution if they have no access to land. Another criticism they had of Marx was that, this was in the lecture, The Marx Nobody Knows, he pointed out that Marx, when he was writing most of his philosophy in the 1840s, was in the top 2% earners of the population, and I'm sure this is true. He earned a lot from his journals and articles, but what's his point? Poor people don't have the time and energy to found new schools of thought. It's inevitable that it's going to be done by intellectuals, but that doesn't mean that's the be-all and end-all. That doesn't mean that only intellectuals support these movements. They don't. It's not just that. But they are the first, invariably. And the craziest criticism they had was to say that if the labour theory of value is true, then capitalists should sell off their machinery and move their factories to Asia and employ loads of coolies, as all the profit comes from labour. They do that. These lectures are in 1988. Maybe it wasn't so well known then, but that's what multinationals do. They move to countries with lower taxes, with fewer trade union rights. That's why the proportion of American business done with dictatorships has increased even as democracy has spread, because they have lower wages, because they don't have unions. And to look at a modern day example of how the labour theory of value works, look at the music industry. The printing of CDs and the distributing of them to shops is no longer needed. No more labour needed for that. The internet does it. So that's practically given away for free. They tried to stop online piracy, but they failed repeatedly. All the money in the music industry is now in merchandise and live performances, because they require human labour, so there is value in them. So, I don't think Marx's labour theory of value has been disproved at all. I think it's quite the opposite. That's enough for now. See you later, YouTube. Bye-bye.